And first, right off the top here at 11 o'clock, we begin with two breaking stories since 6 o'clock tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt. Metro Police shoot and kill two dogs tonight. A man and a little girl are badly hurt by the animals. It happened here at 17th and Lee Streets in West Louisville at 7 o'clock tonight. Police say when they arrived, they were told a man and an 8-year-old girl had been bitten several times by at least two dogs. Police say the dogs were still there, so one officer shot and killed a dog at the scene. Another officer shot the other dog nearby. Both victims were taken to University Hospital. Police say the man with injuries so severe that some are critical. The little girl has serious injuries but was alert and conscious, according to officers. Police located the owner of the dogs. Police said the breed was unknown, and now Metro Animal Services is investigating. Also happening tonight, the stunning details as three teenagers dive into the Ohio River tonight, save the life of a driver. According to Metro Police, at about 6:30, a driver suffered a possible medical emergency and drove into the Ohio River at the Greenwood boat ramp in southwest Jefferson County. Three teenage boys who were fishing on the river saw what happened. Two of them dove into the water and pulled the driver from the car, while another tied a rope to the car and a tree to keep it from floating away. Officers say their quick action saved the driver's life. That driver is now at the hospital recovering. And here, brand new for you on the night team, a statewide ban of cell phones in classrooms passed in Kentucky this year, and now school districts are left to figure out how to implement them at the schools. JCPS is leaving the decision up to each separate school if they want to ban phones just during class or for the entire school day. WHAS11 night teams Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Emma Gefter heard JCPS leaders' plans for the ban and the concerns from a student.
Suspicious, honestly.
No cell phone use in school. Kentucky lawmakers passed the bill this legislative session, leaving the decision of how to implement the ban up to the school districts. Fern Creek has already started limiting cell phone use by having students put their phones in pouches locked shut with a magnet. Pouches for the whole district would cost up to $3 million.
I tend to think that that is a good idea, but we are in tight budget times.
So, for the state's largest school district, JCPS is leaving the implementation of the ban up to the individual schools, who will each assemble a committee
Composed of teachers, administrators, others working in the building, to come up with a policy that actually gets rid of cell phones.
What if something happened and I need to get to a cell phone if an adult or a supervisor is not around and something happened to me? I can just dial 911, I could call my mother, I could call my grandparents.
Heavenly Garth, a senior at the academy at Shawnee, has concerns over the policy.
I have a sickness, I got high blood pressure, and I have preeclampsia because of my child. So I can drop at any moment, so it's not right.
The bill does have exemptions for emergencies and medical needs.
It's 2025, cell phones are not going away, and we know how they're interfering with instruction time.
A policy that reflects the times. A study done by the Pew Research Center found that 72% of U.S. high school teachers say cell phone distraction is a major problem in the classroom.
In my school, people don't be on a phone in class.
Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio said that they will track the success rate of the school's implementation of the policy, and the main measurable of that success will be sentiment.
Surveying principals to say, how are you doing this? Is it effective? What do we need to give you that would help you better? Those type of things.
If a student doesn't follow the policy, they could lose the privilege of bringing their phone to school, be reported to their guardian, or have their phone confiscated.
I don't think taking the phones is the right answer. I think that's not a good thing to have happen.
The policy is set to go into effect at the beginning of next school year. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer of the WHAS11 night team on your side.
Now, taking a closer look, many experts believe cell phone policies will also have a profound effect on young students' mental health. High social media use is linked to lower self-esteem and could lead to issues with anxiety and depression in teenagers. Experts at Johns Hopkins University affirm what we have heard from Heavenly Garth in our story tonight. Cell phones are often given to students for emergencies, and in the era of school shootings, it is a level of security. But Dr. Annette Anderson says it decreases young adults' attention spans. According to Pew Research, 1/3 of teachers say phone distraction is a major issue in their classrooms. Right here tonight, a new bill that could add more tolls, yes, tolls to Indiana interstates is on the governor's desk in Indianapolis. Right now, the state of Indiana cannot add tolls if they were close to an already existing toll. This bill would get rid of that restrictions. Here's why that, of course, matters in Kentuckiana. You know it. The bridge tolls were holding the state back from adding any more on interstates I-65 and 265 in southern Indiana. Now this bill paves the way for NDOT to add tolls if they need them. Lawmakers from New Albany and Jeffersonville both voted no. State Representative Wendy Dant Chester represents Jeffersonville. She said southern Indiana cannot take any more tolls. In a statement to WHAS11 News tonight, she says, quote, "We have a regional economy, so we're not bound by state lines. People are crossing the bridges often to work or go to school. Last summer, trying to get everything figured out with the RiverLink tolls was chaos. I voted no on this bill because it's in the best interest of my community," end quote. Now, a state representative from New Albany shared a similar concern. Ed Clear telling us tonight, quote, "I have ongoing concerns with how the tolling of the Ohio River bridges has been managed. Rather than removing existing protections, I would like to see more accountability for the current tolling system," end quote from Ed Clear there. The governor still needs to sign that bill before it would become law. Meteorologist Matt Breland joining me here tonight on the night team. And Matt, you're dropping the temperatures down below 50 degrees tonight. It's nice, perfect sleeping weather after a couple of hot and humid days.
That's what I've been saying myself too, Doug. Yeah, we are in for a great, peaceful evening for us here across Kentuckiana. Temperatures right now in the mid-60s. We still have some of those lingering clouds in our skies and winds out of the west-northwest around 7 miles per hour. But as we continue to go throughout our overnight hours, we're going to see those temperatures begin to drop more, and we're in for more clear skies to arrive as well. 65 in downtown, 60 near PRP, 62 for you folks near Shepherdsville. Further outside the city, we're already seeing the 50s popping up for you folks in southern Indiana, 53 Bedford, 56 Seymour, 62 Hodgenville, 62 also near Mumfordville. Checking out satellite and radar, clouds continuing to break apart and fade away further towards our east, and you'll notice this patch of clear skies starting to settle its way in further closer towards southern Illinois and southern Indiana, finally starting to see those clouds begin to break apart. So we are in for quite a sunny day as we head into our morning time. You'll notice into the 8 a.m. hour and further on into the noontime, we're expecting lots of sunny skies with those temperatures reaching the mid-60s by the afternoon. We're going to have a full breakdown all about what you can expect for these next upcoming days here in just a few short minutes.
Seemed like he was on the mend, and then to get the news this morning was very shocking. So, and I felt very sad. He had a lot of humility and had a great love for the poor, for our immigrants.
Also, it should be a reminder to all of us that it's important that we live this life well, because we don't know when this life will come to an end.
And with that, tonight on the night team, we are remembering Pope Francis. Around the world, mourners are looking back at the life of the remarkable Pope, who was called the People's Pope. After being hospitalized for weeks this year for respiratory issues, the leader of the Catholic Church died early in the morning, Vatican time. They say he died from a stroke, just hours after making that appearance at the Easter Mass.
He is the Pope of the people and also the Pope of great surprises. Just like his death, it was a great surprise.
During his 12 years as pontiff, Francis was regarded as the Pope of the poor, the marginalized and underprivileged. Instead of washing the feet of fellow priests on Holy Thursday, he chose prisoners, refugees, and the homeless. According to the Archdiocese of Louisville, more than 200,000 Catholics live right here in our community, many going to masses across Kentuckiana to honor the holy man today. WHS11's Jose Alonso spoke with the Louisville Archbishop late today, who calls Pope Francis a warm and humble man of Christ.
Francis' mercy was a primary theme.
Followers of the Catholic faith walking into Cathedral of the Assumption, where Easter Sunday was just celebrated.
Keep me safe, O God. You are my hope.
Inside, a clear memorial where a purple cloth holds Pope Francis's picture. Sitting in the pews draped in a white veil is New York resident Kelsey Hidalgo, who's in Louisville to visit her son.
I wanted to visit a cathedral because being the year of hope, I wanted to visit something special in Louisville. And Pope Francis made it easier for us, reminding us that we are beacons of hope.
As churchgoers took this time to reflect on His Holiness's legacy, so did the Archbishop of Louisville, Shelton Fobb.
A big thing for Pope Francis was that we encounter one another, and so to encounter his heart in his writings and everything that he shared. But meeting him in person was to meet someone who was very warm, very jovial.
At St. Margaret Mary Catholic Church in St. Matthews, another memorial stands for the Pope. Although Mass had taken place earlier, there was still one person using some quiet time to continue praying.
I will be grieving with them and also celebrating his life, his ministry, and looking forward to the guidance of the Holy Spirit will give us our new leader going forward.
Father Bill Hammer says it's now up to him and other Catholic leaders to guide their followers during this time of mourning. But he also reflected on a special moment during his time at the Vatican.
I was in enough of a crowd that when he drove by in the Pope-mobile, and that I was actually fairly close. I can say it's a lifetime memory for me. You know, that I was close and I saw his face, I saw his expressions, and what a gift that is, still very much etched in my mind.
He gave us a good example of what it means to be a humble follower of Jesus, to love everyone. And, you know, that's something that fills my mind and my heart today.
Now we want to look ahead to tomorrow for you at the Cathedral of the Assumption here in downtown Louisville on 5th Street. The church says they will be hosting a massive Thanksgiving for the life of Pope Francis. That's going to be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock again at the Cathedral of the Assumption. Louisville Archbishop will be leading this special service tomorrow night. The Archbishop led the church from the Vatican, the Pope did, but his influence can be felt here in Louisville. A local teenager even got the chance to meet him just 2 years ago. Destiny Morris was 16 when she was chosen to deliver a speech in front of Pope Francis. Morris is part of the National Catholic Youth Advisory Council, an organization that supports young Catholics in every state and encourages them to use their voice. She wrote about the Pope supporting social issues and listening to young Catholics like herself.
I think him as a pope, he came in changing so many things, but also being more adaptable to the world. He was so understanding of our new life experiences and the things that the culture was changing, and he just wanted to push so much for change. And I think that was so inspiring as a young Catholic, understand like, no, he gets me as my youth and he understands what I'm going through.
And we caught up again with Destiny tonight. She visited us here at WHAS11 tonight for that interview. She said that what she remembers most about meeting the Pope was his message of joy. Other news tonight, it was a packed house this evening at the ongoing Democracy in America series, with tonight's focus, the housing crisis in Louisville. The League of Women Voters hosting the Metro Housing Authority, the St. John Center, and other top city leaders. According to the latest housing assessment, the need for housing in low-income areas grew 15%. Many in Louisville are spending 30% or more of their income on rent. But when it comes to the process of building new affordable housing, leaders find that there's pushback from neighbors. The director of Louisville Metro Housing Authority, Elizabeth Strojan, called this racism.
But I think that people have a fear of change and a fear of otherness that is deeply rooted and tough to combat. We use the term affordable housing because low-income housing was stigmatized. So then we moved to affordable housing, and maybe we need to call it workforce housing. But the thing that really changes people's minds is seeing what it does for communities.
Strojan says the best thing Louisville can do is fund housing programs, because without the money, they are dead in the water. Strojan and the Housing Authority is in the process of moving residents out of the aging Dosker Manor. She says they're about halfway there.